continuing violence in Israel following those indiscriminate attacks from the Islamic terror group Hamas. More than 700 people have been killed in Israel and around 400 have currently lost their lives in retaliatory strikes on the Gaza Strip.
Well, joining us from Liverpool is the former Labour MP Luciana Berger. She quit the party in 2019 in protest over Jeremy Corbyn's leadership, but has since rejoined the party and is at conference. Now, while we're on the subject of Jeremy Corbyn, Luciana, what do you make of his refusal to specifically condemn the actions of the terrorist group Hamas?
Well, good morning, Nicola, and I've been appalled that Jeremy Corbyn has been unable to condemn these terrorist attacks, the worst atrocities that Israel have seen, the worst loss of life that we've seen of Jewish people since the Holocaust, that despite repeated questions he was unable to acknowledge and condemn Hamas for carrying out this terrorist action. That happened outside of the parameters of this Labour Party conference. Jeremy Corbyn is not at this Labour Party conference, and we've seen a very, very distinct and very, very wide gulf between him and the leader of the Labour Party today, Sir Keir Starmer, who's been unequivocal in his condemnation of these terrorist attacks.
Luciana, I want to get to that in a sec, but I want to ask you another question. It's a delight to have you on. If that's the case of Jeremy Corbyn, what do you make of the fact that the BBC hasn't called Hamas terrorists? Not at all, nothing.
I think you know, looking very, very closely at the ideology of Hamas, what they've said since their creation back in 1988, this is a terrorist organisation sponsored by Iran who is committed to the destruction of the State of Israel. And you only have to see some of the scenes, the heartbreaking scenes of what we've seen come out of Israel about what happened on Saturday, which continues today. There's still a hostage situation ongoing in Kfar Aza. It's a community on the border of Gaza that I was in just 2 months ago, to see the absolute monstrosity and barbaric attacks that this terrorist organisation is carrying out. And I've seen this morning an article written by Danny Cohen, the former head of television at the BBC, who's called on the BBC to call out this organisation and its perpetrators for what they are, and they are terrorists.
Sorry, don't want to be like a dog with a bone. One final thing, really appreciate you being on. Some of the things, I mean, so much has shocked, quite rightly, the world over the weekend. The sights of people on the streets of the capital in London and across this country celebrating this terrorist attack is pretty appalling, isn't it?
I ask those people, what exactly are you celebrating? Are you celebrating the slaughter of pensioners, of women, of children at bus stops, in their homes, in their beds, with people being dragged and beheaded through the streets of Gaza? What are you celebrating? Where is your humanity? This is acts of terrorism. End. The end. There is nothing else to say. And you know, the scenes that we've seen in a handful of places, it's, you know, overwhelmingly the majority of people in this country have rightly, unequivocally condemned these barbaric actions.